look this color, or depending on the other minerals, it could be brown or turquoise. So we'll see some examples of that today. And because there's so many rocks in here, it's really hard for the salmon to navigate through here. There used to be a huge salmon run up this river, but now there is a fish ladder coming out of the middle dock in town, and then there's a pond there where all the salmon will spawn. So we don't have a ton of wildlife in this area because there is no fish for them to eat. So you may be wondering, are we going to get wildlife? It could happen. The only answer I have is maybe. The train is very loud. It's a huge forest we're in. We're the Tongass National Forest, 16.7 million acres. So it's very spread out here. The thing we do most often see from the train is bears. There are some black bears that hibernate in this area. I'll let you know further off the route when we get to that section where we most often see them. But keep your eyes peeled. You could see caribou, moose, black bears, grizzly bears, porcupines, marmots, beavers, eagles. If you see anything, just scream a point. We'll all try and find it and enjoy that special bonus. But you never know. Awesome. Let's go.
There we go.
Yes.
Thank you.
I bet we look amazing.
Thank you. Yes, I'm gonna check.
Oh yeah. We're cuties. Yes.
Oh, is this that way?
Oh, yeah.
I love it. Thanks,
Of
Katie.
course. Anytime. What a good day.
Beautiful.
Minus the giant stop. But also, it's not bad. It's not raining up here. It's not raining. Hanging out. It's good.
We've got the menu.
Blue skies. Woo! gorgeous Bridal Veil Falls. It's so big. Yeah, great.
That's what she said.
So a lot of those heaters were dying in Germany. They started making that food tip into a beer, and you still get it in Skagway today. So two places make it: Klondike Brewery on 2nd and Broadway, and Skagway Beer Company on 4th and Broadway. And then every bar in town has one or both of those. Yeah, crab's like $1 million. Oh, probably ice cream, which is a disaster, because ice cream is my favorite food. $20 a gallon. Yeah, and I even have an ice cream tattoo. Proof. The best food in the world. So when I'm in Skagway, I don't eat a lot of ice cream. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Grapes are really expensive. I bought some grapes recently, and you just can't look at the prices of the grocery store. You just have to like grab whatever you need and try and forget about it. But these grapes were $25. And I got home and I was like, how did I know so much? And I was like, I don't like grapes that much. I should have bought ice cream. Who needs grapes when you can have ice cream? Yeah, it's pretty wild. Avocados. One avocado is like $8 or $9. And then it's never gonna get ripe. It's so crazy. Yeah, last year I had my family from Pennsylvania try and mail me some avocados because I love them so much. And they tried 2 different times, and both times, by the time I got here, it was just moldy guacamole. They were like, alright, no more avocados. So yeah, this year I started a garden at my house, so hopefully that does well. Gonna try and grow some things. Anything. That is it. You know what? My birthday's coming up. I'm gonna ask for that. July birthday! Yeah, that is... Why am I thought of that? Amazing.
I'll start a tip jar for you.
There you go, an ice cream tip jar. Let's go. We're gonna be ice cream rich.
I will be back.
Yeah, that's why I can't stay here in the winter. Like, I love food too much to live here year round. Thank you. Go for it. He's waving around money back here. Yeah. I'm just gonna put it in my pocket. Ta-da!
My wife will have me.
What's the first flavor I should make? I've never had this before in ice cream. Yeah, that's what we call Christmas tree rock. That's our cue for, we're gonna come back up to Black Cross Rock, which is gonna be down on the right this time, 50 feet below the tracks. We're slow rolling through this section. Once we get to the clearing, it's gonna be 50 feet below the tracks. If anyone missed that memorial for those 2 workers, got crushed by a ginormous rock in 1898. Still under there. No, so when our conductor was in here, she was saying that they were like checking out the tracks where they were because there was one of the tracks that was like a little bit wonky, and so the train was having problems, and also now they're inspecting the track there. So we're just slow rolling to make sure it's safe to go over.
We good?
Yeah, we're good. Don't you worry. If I'm not worried, you shouldn't be worried. No, not yet. We're doing great. We've only been going since April.
Hospitalized?
No. Not Skagway, there's no hospital. Skagway and you get pregnant, all your doctor's appointments are in Juneau. So you have to fly back and forth, and then they usually will leave like a month or so in advance to head down to Juneau and just hang out because, yeah. So you gotta just stay there. So if you take the seaplane, it's about $250 to $300 one way. And then that helicopter emergency ride is like $10,000 plus. Yeah, so people that live here year round have helicopter insurance for the ambulance, but I'm living wild. We'll see. Hopefully it's fine.
You were saying about the traffic. You were saying about the traffic.
Like you stay the winter here. So people that like it quiet. People that like the cold, like the dark, like the quiet. I don't know what they do here in the winter, but yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So what? Almost the whole town shuts down. So once in the winter, there's one bar open, one restaurant, and our tiny grocery store, and that is it. For whoever decides to stay here. So the 500 people that love the winter here, no one really works up here in the winter, nothing's open. So everyone kind of works for 6 months, saves all their money, hangs out, and then usually the people that stay the winter will leave for at least a month because they need some sunshine as well. Oh yeah. Yeah, this last winter we had was actually the worst winter we had in 60 years. So about 20 feet up at the top. Down in Skagway, it wasn't too much snow, but it was so cold. For 2 months straight, it was below -20. Yeah. So Skagway was freezing this winter. And that's why I'll never be here in the winter. Yeah. Yeah. I have a lot of friends that decided to stay the winter here for the first time. And they regretted it. Yeah. 0 out of 10. Yeah, a lot of people that stay the winter really like snow sports. The next port south of Haines is actually where heli skiing was first invented. So they'll drop you off a helicopter, ski down. Couldn't be me. But for some people, that's their jam. Yeah. A lot of people snowmobiling, snowshoeing. I'd rather just see the snow in the distance. I like a sled, but that's about it. You wouldn't catch me skiing, I would probably die. left. Once we come up to Pitchfork Falls, I'll let you know if you want to grab a video of it. It's going to be a little bit tucked away behind us. It's coming out of this side, but I'll let you know when it's coming up. so easy to capture. Ta-da! last bridge of the day, the Skagway River. The Denver Valley will be on the left. On the right, all of that gorgeous glacier water rushing underneath. And then we'll see that red